It's Carlos Cortez here with our last podcast of the year of 2025. I'm so excited about this. I am currently in Park City, Utah with my family, just sneaking out for a whole week. No skating, no church responsibilities, actually no responsibilities at all, other than keeping you guys informed for what is to come, what is happening, and what we should be doing going in 2026. I labeled this the standard, which is going to be our faith money in the year ahead. As we know that our faith will get tested, we understand that there's a lot of false flags that happen this year. We have banks that are struggling, but also struggling to know the truth. As we see banks in other areas completely unfold, the market continues to rise. Just a quick synopsis of the S&P 500, we're probably closing in at 17% for the year, and the NASDAQ about 21% for the whole year from January till now. If you're watching this after New Year's, congratulations. Hopefully you're a new subscriber. If you haven't subscribed, please like and subscribe our Rumble channel as well as our YouTube channel. All you have to do is pause this video and go to Scriptures and Wallstreet and follow us on YouTube and on Rumble. Thank God we're back on YouTube. I believe I got banned or shadow banned, or my handle got suspended, whatever you want to call it, because we were talking about COVID-19 and how it affects the markets. But it's interesting because Florida now comes out and says that none of the vaccines should ever be mandated. So I'm glad I'm in Florida, even though I'm visiting in Utah. Trying to find snow. What really, really sucks is there's no snow. There's only snow from like a few days ago, but I wanted to come here to Park City and see actual snow on top of the mountains. But I'm just chilling in the Airbnb. Beautiful, beautiful spot. Here's some pictures and some videos of where we're staying at. And everybody's friendly here. Everybody's friendly. You know, what's interesting is you guys know I'm Spanish. I'm Puerto Rican. So I'm used to seeing other minorities, and there's a joke going on that there's no black people out here, man. Originally, I'm from North Carolina. You're the black, white, or Mexican, and there's just no black people out here. It's just predominantly white. Nothing wrong with that. It's just I think it's funny. I actually went to go have dinner the other night, and the waiter was like, there was only like a ribeye, a steak. Beautiful contemporary American place on Park City Main Street. I forgot the name of it. Oh, I think it was called Fletcher's. So I'm at Fletcher's, and I ordered a ribeye. I usually love ribeyes or some lean meat. I don't know if sometimes I go lean, sometimes I go fatty, but I love a good steak, medium rare or rare. And said, "What kind of greens you got?" She goes, "Oh, we got asparagus, and we have a rainbow char crust." I don't know what they called it. It was like a rainbow char crust. And I'm like, "What is that?" She goes, "Oh, it's a dish from the South." I'm like, "What?" I'm from the South. I've never heard no rainbow char. And come to find out, guys, it's freaking collard greens. That's what it was. It was straight collard greens. And I'm like, "What? Just say collard greens, man. Like, come on." And anyways, it came. I had collard greens with a ribeye. It was so amazing. But they don't use Southern words over here because everybody here is like a billionaire, right? Anyways, dinner was $500. We didn't order anything special. You guys know I don't drink. So yeah, everything's just like obnoxiously expensive here. So like $100 is like $20 here. I think we were at Smith's and I just ordered like eggs, my lactate milk, baby spinach, some bacon, and 2 or 3 cuts of sirloin just so I can make steak and eggs in the morning, and some coffee. Dude, it was like $120 something. So I had to wear these patches behind my ear because I get elevation sickness. You guys know I live in Florida, and there's no way in heck that I'm going to be feeling like I'm Passover drunk. Elevation, altitude sickness is a real thing for us Floridians. But I'm wearing smart wool. This stuff is really cool. basically you can sweat in it all day. It keeps you warm. For those of you that are not into the cold in the mountains, us Floridians, we got to wear this stuff because, you know, the 7 and 10, 15 degree weather is really not that cold. It feels like when Florida gets like in the 30s, it's really, really cold. So I'm actually able to take the cold, no problem. It's just the elevation that bothers me. As you guys remember, I was in Colorado climbing a mountain. My oxygen was down to 70, 76, actually. Right now, not too bad. I'm at 91 right now. I don't know if you can see that. $91. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that because the higher I get, as a double pneumonia survivor, I was at 70, mid 70s, 75, and I climbed Mount Bernstock, which is in Colorado, and I went 14,000 feet. I did need a few pumps of the Oxy Boost, the little portable oxygens. I don't need it here. But yeah, this is such a beautiful spot. Maybe I'll buy a place out here. I don't know if I can afford it. Just a townhome is $2 million. It's nuts. Like, this is insane out here. Anyways, here's some pictures of me and the wife and the kids just enjoying. Since we're not skiing, there's not a lot of snow. Actually, no snow at all this week. So what do? You guys know, True Cortez, we love ice skating. So here's some videos of us ice skating. We call the people that can't skate break dancers because they are doing all these like, whoa, 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 whoa. So my kids and I were just laughing at like all the break dancers. And maybe that's just me being conceited or cocky or arrogant. Call it whatever it is, but I just thought it was fun. My kids just having fun. Anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying your New Year's. I flew out here because there's no hockey. I didn't plan a podcast this week. I was trying to do it Sunday before I left, so I didn't have to podcast. But here I am. I love what I do, so it never feels like I'm working. And I love that I can be portable. I can do this anywhere in the world. And I promise you guys that I will continue. I've been doing this for 5 years now. I haven't skipped a beat. I may do reruns here and there on holiday weeks, but I wanted to just basically talk about resetting the standard. Now, as we go into 2026, most people will be like, I want less stress. I want more money. I want to lose weight. I want a better relationship. But they never talk about the major thing of, I want to grow closer to God. I want to spend time with my wife and kids. I want to make an impact. Guys, we will die. And I don't mean to like be a Debbie Downer here, but we're going to die. That is the absolute truth. We're going to meet our maker. For some of you, you know Jesus. Some of you have run away from him. Some of you have picked a drug of your choice to get in the way of your salvation and what Jesus wants from us. And, you know, one thing from this new church I'm visiting, he had a very powerful message the other day. You know how maybe you haven't been an estranged kid to your parents. Maybe you didn't know how to come home. Maybe you were gay. Maybe you were on drugs. Maybe you just didn't honor your parents. Maybe there's some like sin in your life that you were ashamed of. Whatever it is, Jesus is calling you home. He doesn't need an explanation. He doesn't need an essay. He doesn't even need an excuse. He just has his arms wide open and wants you to come home. So I don't know what that looks like for you. But for me, he just wants to love on us. I grew up in a very strict home, a Pentecostal home, Spanish on top of that. And everything was legalistic. Everything. Couldn't drink alcohol, couldn't listen to secular music. Some women couldn't even wear makeup in some churches. Couldn't talk to the opposite sex till you were like 18 years old. Like, just just weird stuff, man. And maybe you grew up in that strict home and you think that's what Jesus is about now. It's not true at all, man. It's a lie of the devil. And if that's you, Jesus simply just wants to open his arms up to you and just love on you, man. Doesn't matter if you're Muslim. Maybe you're a Mormon out here in Utah. To know the real Jesus is to know that you are loved no matter what. And I'm going to Salt Lake City downtown, just show the kids around and show them the beautiful Mormon temple. Not to judge them, not to say that they're wrong, but truly, truly have a very powerful conversation with them that it doesn't matter what you believe in. Satan will always try to manipulate your thoughts and tell you a story. And I believe Mormonism is a false doctrine. I believe it's a cult. I don't believe anything that comes out of church is good for your soul. First and foremost, we do not worship other gods. And if we're becoming a god after afterlife, then right there, it breaks the rules of what is taught on scriptures. Never mind, I don't like wearing the long johns, the slit in the knee, every knee shall bow, the heart on the chest. They have these like sacred underwear that they wear 24/7. Maybe they can get away with it because it's cold out here, but Jesus is not Satan's brother. And I'm not here to debate Mormonism or LDS Church, but there are some amazing people in that church. However, their ties to the Masons are very questionable, especially that when you go into these temples and these secret rooms, they have floors that belong to the Masonic Lodge. So it's not, if that's you, then I pray that you understand the real Jesus. Even black people were segregated at that one point. Jesus doesn't care what color skin you are. He doesn't even care if you're a Jew. He is called to love all. And we're all God's children, Jews and Gentiles. So I wanted to make sure in 2026 that no matter what ethnicity you are, Jesus is calling you home. It doesn't matter what cult you're in, what belief you've had up until this point, Jesus is calling you home. What does that look like in 2026? Well, first and foremost, why don't we just wake up and acknowledge his presence? Why don't we just wake up and acknowledge that, hey, it is the air in our lungs that he gives us the ability to breathe. As a COVID pneumonia survivor, like that is the most thing I took for granted was the air in my lungs. As a college athletic soccer player growing up, I could run anything. I hated running, believe it or not, but I never, ever would have ever thought that I would have a respiratory problem in my 40s. I was always told, oh man, you got great lungs. You can run for days and you can sprint and you'll never have to worry about lung issues. Well, after that bioweapon called the Delta strain, you guys remember, almost died from that, got hospitalized. And the number one thing I couldn't do was breathe. And it was it was a lesson that I learned that no matter how arrogant and how tough you think you are, that engineered bioweapon could literally destroy you. And so I'm grateful for the air in my lungs. But when it comes to the LDS Church and here, it's interesting because they actually control like the blue sky laws here. There's no alcohol over 3.5. What is volume AV or something like that, alcohol content. Like all the beers are less than 3.5%. I don't drink, so it doesn't matter to me. But it's interesting because they're very strict on where kids could go in the restaurants. Like they're not allowed to even like wait in close remotely where they have where they're serving drinks. Like in Florida, You can wait anywhere. I mean, if you're waiting an hour to sit down, you can wait at the bar with your kids as long as they're not drinking. So it's completely different out here. And anyways, I just wanted to say that, hey, if you're LDS, Jesus loves you, man. And it's time to wake up. It is time to wake up, because the Messiah has already walked this earth, and there are no missing tablets. There are no missing pieces. God's word is complete. Joseph Smith was a fraud, and that was documented. The LDS Church has been indicted by the FBI, and more so, the LDS Church has completely changed their doctrine multiple times. Like, how do you change your doctrine? Wasn't Joseph Smith like the huge Messiah? When he was 14 years old, he had this vision that there was missing tablets. And look, guys, Jesus doesn't work in secret. There's no secret handshakes that Jesus wants you to know. Jesus was he wasn't a positive thinker. He wasn't a negative thinker. He was a truth teller. He didn't have a secret handshake. And we're supposed to be like Jesus. Then what are we doing? Doing a 2-year mission and having a sacrament in a room that no one has access to, and you can only marry if you only have a 2-year mission. No, man. Like, when Jesus died, all he wanted was your heart. You don't need to do works. Faith by works. Your faith is good enough. Faith like a mustard seed. Now, we are called, the Great Commission, we're called to be an impact to others and go out and create disciples with the right gospel. So speaking of gospel, I'm not here to preach. I'm here to basically share my heart with you guys. This is the last podcast for the year. I thought my last podcast was the last one, but Mike got it out just on time. And I don't know if he's going to get this one out on time, but I owe you guys a New Year's one. So this is my New Year's one. Let's reset the standard, is what I'm getting at. I got a lot of calls this week saying, hey, Carlos, how are we investing in 2026? What are we supposed to do? Well, we can talk about indices. We can talk about gold and precious metals. Obviously, precious metals took off this year. And if you follow my covenant process that I've been talking about for the past 2 years, you've been winning. You've been winning. For those of you who don't know what the covenant process is, let me say my disclosure here. Everything on this podcast is meant for information and education purposes only. I am not giving financial advice. Although I am a financial advisor, this is not investment advice. If you would like investment advice, please give us a call, 813-448-3446, or visit us at cortezwm.com to schedule a consultation, whether it's FaceTime, Zoom, Teams. We can cater to all. We typically don't work with people in Hawaii and New York, although we love our New Yorkers. There's a lot of conservatives up there. We're very limited in New York only because your state has a lot of rules on the green money side. If you're just looking for managed money, we can totally help you. But most states were able to help everyone. Just Hawaii, only because of the time differences. When I'm waking up, you guys are going to bed, so it's pretty tough. But hey, we can always try, right? So give us a call, 813-448-3446. We want to cater to our God-fearing patriots. We want to cater to the people that believe in what we believe in, spiritually, medically, organically speaking, right? We have obviously spiritually, physically, medically, academically. Like, you need to be on the same page as your advisor, because if not, your advisor could be recommending things that go against your faith. Maybe you're funding Pfizer on what they're doing. Maybe you're funding BlackRock on a tokenization of pretty much your whole life. And what green money has done for many, many of our listeners is they're able to protect their principal from the stock market, pull an income from it, guarantee their principal by the strength of an insurance company, and have the ability to draw income from it and have it replenished by the growth of an index. Now, those indices could be the S&P 500. It could be a QQQ like growth index. It could be a rotator index. It could be multiple indices. It could be a certain crediting method off the S&P 500. But the cool part is that we simply don't have to risk our principal. Now, what I want to say in 2026, we've gotten so many phone calls about AI. Carlos, I need to be investing in AI. Where am I going to put this money? Look, if you want returns and if you want to take risk, then give us a call. We have portfolios that will kick butt in 2026. Like year to date, we've had some yellow money that has done over 50% if you're okay with risk. The NASDAQ just did 21%. The S&P 500 did 17%. We could grow your money. Past results is not indicative of future results. Yes, that would be securities. Yes, that would be yellow money. I'm not using the word guarantee, but there are risks. We do charge 1.25% advisory fee to manage these money managers that are trading your accounts on brokerage accounts. So if you have a brokerage account, whether it's Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, LPL, Ameriprise, or even Charles Schwab, give us a call. We can give you a second opinion. We're not going to charge for a second opinion. We can actually start talking about reducing your standard deviation, possibly in reducing your fees, but more so increasing the return versus the standard deviation. If you're a current client, there are some moves that I'm making already this year, discretionary for you. On the conservative side, our portfolio did over 15% on a conservative side with a standard deviation of 7. Now, it could be less than that if you had green money, right? If we pulled money into a safe bucket using our insurance vehicles, we could literally cut your risk in half, let that portfolio grow with green money. And then the other component, we have that growing at an equity-like return. So this year in 2026, for those of you that don't know, there is a lot of talks about AI. And let me tell you, AI in 2025 was just scratching the surface. These businesses did not trust AI whatsoever. This year, we're going to have humanoids. We're going to have robots. We're going to have self-driving cars as the norm. Waymo is already out in most municipalities right now. We'll see smart cities rising. The track, trace, and control agenda is here. It has been here since 2023 and beyond. Like artificial intelligence came out in the 70s, man, like way before the 70s. Like the military has had access to all of this, just like the military had access to the internet. They had internet late 50s. They used it to communicate with other universities, other academics, and within an intranet style type of communication. And they just evolved into more of a intranet, so to speak. It was more of an intranet where the public had access to the internet in the 90s. Well, that's how it is with AI. AI has been around for decades, guys. And now the public is starting to accept it. And it's in every single aspect of our lives, from turning the light switch on to washing our cars, to buying a lift ticket to go skiing, to going to the grocery store, to facial recognition, to your cell phones, to your banking, to the laptop or device that you're on right now watching this podcast. It's everywhere. Now you can create music. It can drive cars. It could basically be in the form of a robot. You'll see robo cooking taking off. I told you that my neighbor is a CEO hospital. Guys, they have robots doing heart surgeries. Yeah. They have robots doing heart surgeries, and it's here, man. It is here, guys. So I want you to understand that the money in your bank has been track, trace, control. The money in your bank is set up for bank bail-ins. As they continue to lower interest rates, be very, very cautious, extremely cautious of the quiet that's right now. Then the volatility index is extremely low. So here we are. We're at 14.9. This is going down. This is the volatility index. So going into 2026, we are seeing a lower volatility index. Now, I want you to understand, my purple box here is signaling a death cross. We have a sell signal here. So we're in what's called a Santa rally, and the volatility is going down, which means the stock market's going up. But look at the volatility, guys. Whenever it hits this new low, look how it just pops up. Historically speaking, of course, past performance is not indicative of future results, but let's just pay attention to this VIX. Every time it sells off, and it's hitting these new lows of 13.43, that means the market's going up. Every time this goes up, that means the market's going down. So every time we see a sell-off here on the actual VIX, we'll notice that it tends to pop back up from a behavior standpoint. So here we are, 2026. We got a death cross going in. Markets probably will do well early Q1. And let's just kind of look at the historicals real quick. So if I look at this, guys, what I'm getting at is, you see this Bollinger Band here? When it comes to this yellow band here, which would be around 11, from a technical standpoint, and we're already below our 200-day moving average, which is that white line. When we hit this band here, it will just, boom, it will just jump right back up, and it'll create a market meltdown, a market crisis. And if you see the historicals, every time it comes close to that yellow band, you'll see that it pops up tremendously. See, it was close here, and then boom, reversion of the mean. It went all the way up to 25 back in early 2019. So rarely touches over the past few years. It rarely touches that yellow. Closest time it did was close in 2018. And even in 2020, it just kissed that 200-day moving average and skyrocketed. So right now we're below this moving average. So at any point, if it comes close to this yellow line, we will see a market meltdown like you haven't seen before. So pretty interesting to keep an eye on that. Of course, when the volatility index hits low, some of the things that you want to look at if you are trading or if you like to take risk, you could look at UVIX. If I can spell right. This is a leverage ETF. And once again, there's that band, that Keltner channel. And this is 2 times the volatility index. You can't trade the volatility index. But once this hits a new low, which is, man, it's kissing it right there. Anything under 5, I mean, you pretty much certain that it will pop up. So this is a leverage ETF. This would be a great option play. As they lowered interest rates, look how this thing just melted off. I can't even put it on my chart. Look at this sucker. Holy smokes. I'm trying to minimize it so it can fit the screen. So if there's a market meltdown, guys, UVIX will literally just take off like nothing you ever seen. Might be a good time to get in under 5 at this price at 546. The Santa rally will continue to push this down, but when that market does correct itself, possibly after Q1, this is going to be maybe the trade of the year. I don't know. I will keep an eye on it. The other thing is also SPXS. This is going to be very low right now. Very similar to UVIX. This is going to be how you would make money. Of course, this is not investment advice. Please don't invest in this. Long term, you will lose money. This is only a hedge. So if you feel that the S&P 500 will go down, then this would be a great asset to own just as a hedge. Right now, it's at less than 32.96, and it could go lower as the Santa rally comes down. This loses 3 times the asset. So if the S&P does 10, you've lost 30% here. It's triple leverage. However, if the S&P goes down 20%, this will go up, generally speaking, about 60%. So very, very volatile, only worth maybe 5 or 10% of your liquid assets if you're comfortable with trading. I wouldn't hold this more than a month or a few weeks for that matter. This is a trading ETF, not for many people. But I just wanted to bring that up as red money continues to be attractive. But what's more really attractive is what you guys have been calling about. Hey, Carlos, where can I get my silver? Do you offer silver? And the answer is, I have a strategic partner. I actually do not offer silver. I farm that out with Cornerstone. Cornerstone is an amazing outfit. So if you have a chance, reach out to Cornerstone for all your precious metals needs. 888-747-3309. They're a God-fearing faith-based precious metals dealer. And I really, really love Terry and his crew out there. All you got to do is reach out to them. You can actually save into precious metals. It is a red asset. It is an asset that basically does not have downside protection. I want to make sure you guys understand that when you purchase precious metals, it is traded by the people you're trying to avoid. I think silver will hit over $100 an ounce by the end of Q1. That's me predicting it. I also said that it was going to hit over 70 by this time, by the end of the year, if you guys remember. I've been recommending silver since it was under $20 an ounce. Now, our covenant process is we believe that you should have green money, safe money for your retirement, a good portion of it. We also believe you should have some precious metals, maybe 5, 10, 20%, no more than that. And then the other should be managed money professionally, like yellow money, where we can take risk, where we can buy AI-based portfolios, where we can literally grow that asset and take risk, calculated risk. And if that is something of your interest, then give us a call. We can implement the covenant process with you, because what it actually does, it protects you from the downside. You actually make money if the dollar keeps on failing. And then on most of your assets, because of the green money aspect of it, you have no losses to what hurt bonds, which is lowering interest rates. Rising interest rates. So we were in a rising interest rate environment for such a long time. Now we're in a lower interest rate environment. Those bond prices are supposed to be popping up, but they really haven't, like they're supposed to. As you guys know, my TMF has been terrible. So I took a big L on that one. We have till the 16th till it hit 100. Don't think it's going to happen, but that's why we diversify. If you had the covenant process, you made a killing on our precious metals bucket, which I honestly think you should sell 5, 10% when it's high, and buy it when it goes back down to a lower price. This is trading. It's not emotional. So that's what I'm doing. I'm selling 10% of my silver and locking in some profits. I had some people that bought 400 grand of silver from Cornerstone, and they bought farmland. Like, it was pretty amazing. So, and they still have the original principle that they put in because they bought it through Cornerstone. They didn't get screwed. They didn't get screwed by these shark salesmen that want to charge you 20, 30%. They even charge these ridiculous annual fees. So when you hold it, you don't have to pay these annual fees of $400 or $500 a year. Just nonsense. So call Cornerstone, have it shipped to you, put it in your gun safe or somewhere safe in your home, and that no one has access to it. And for me, at one point, it was just a bug out bag type of money. So in case I need to run to the hills of Utah or North Carolina, I have, a whole bag full of precious metals, guns, survival food, solar panel generators. I'm good. I have the ability to grow crops, defend my family, hydrate because I have, water filtrations systems to basically drink water from any source of water, salt water, fresh water, and I have the ability to grow assets and I can hunt. I can hunt animals and cook in the woods if I need to. God, I hope we never have to experience that, but I'm confident that I could live in the woods for the rest of my life. I've been trained to do that as a Boy Scout or Aurora Ranger, I would say, Eagle Scout. And, but, our wife and kids are a little different. So be prepared, be a man, make sure you are ready at all times, financially, physically, and be a man that is easy to love, ready to die, but hard to kill. And that's what I am. That's what we stand and my group, Rise Up Kings. You guys see me wear this bracelet, the black one, Rise Up Kings. And that's what we were associated with, a bunch of men that believe like how we believe, that we want to be a protector, a provider, and we're successful businessmen, and that we believe in masculinity to protect our families. We believe that God has called us to be masculine. I also feel that a problem in our society is we have a lack of men that are willing to step up in their faith, in their family, in their fitness, and in their finance. So being masculine doesn't mean you eat cheeseburgers and drink beer and not be present at home like they share in the commercials and in movies. Like that's what they want masculinity to be. Like they want you to think that we're just lazy fat guys doing nothing, and the women got to take over. They got to cook, they got to provide, they got to protect. And this is why you see Kim K being GQ in 2024, because there's no freaking men out there. There's no men that want to do the hard things. Up until now, if you're a follower of this channel, you believe in masculinity. And for the women too, femininity. Like there's a whole nother language with femininity with women. Like us masculine men, we love femininity as well. And there's some things, some personal development on that side for women as well. Anyways, if you would like coaching on just like in life, I am going to be offering that in 2026. Also, I'm excited to tell you about some trading systems that are automated that actually can increase your income. So you don't have to worry about, how do I make money in the markets and learn all these strategies that Carlos talks about, these option calls and these trading calls. Well, we have AI helping our people basically generate a monthly income. So I will be introducing that early Q1 2026. I do my own due diligence with all the projects that I'm bringing on, so that you don't have to worry about losing money and figuring it all out when we do that for you. Very, very much passionate about it. Also, if you're interested in losing weight and getting your mind right, a lot of people have been buying GetMeLeanUSA.coms or make products. They're made here in America, in Utah, as a matter of fact, and they're just an amazing company. Go to GetMeLeanUSA.com. Let's lower your body fat. Let's get you mobile. Let's get you thinking right. Let's get you wired where you feel good. So definitely go to GetMeLeanUSA.com. If you guys remember Jake Campbell as an interview, Clotho and follistatin was a great peptide to get involved. If you want Clotho and follistatin, I just took my first shot this week, and I tell you what, my mental clarity, my mood, just my motivation has completely game changed. Just too early to see what kind of body transformations I've had, but I'll be journaling and documenting it. This stuff's not cheap. It's like $1,200 a month if you wanted to inject yourself. I believe Big Pharma is trying to, again, control it. and patent it. And they're going to be charging $8,000 a month when you can go to buy longevitylabs.com, type in cortezwm.com, get you some Clotho, get you some Follistatin. They will build muscle. They will be the fountain of youth. And again, this is not medical advice. These are one of our affiliate sponsors that love our show and that support this show. And we support them because they're literally going against the grain with Big Pharma. Anyways, charts. I want to look at some more charts here real quick. So we talked about silver. I think it would go. Let's pull up a different chart here. We're seeing a little bit of pushback coming into the new year of a sell pressure. It hit as high as 80, and now it's back down to 73, 186. This is a bad asset to have right now. You see the momentum is coming down, so we should see a little bit of sell-off, a retracement, possibly down to average trade range 348. We should see it close to 64, low 60s. It'll bounce back down, and then it'll pop right back up. If you like to trade silver on paper and you are aggressive, you can also look at AGQ, which is an ETF. This thing just skyrocketed from 96 to 167. Remember, I bought the call option late this past year, and we made a great comeback on this. So silver will continue to rise. It will come down. I don't recommend buying silver right now. I would wait maybe a few more weeks till this momentum shows us that it's weakening, and then that's when you buy it. Now, for those of you that already have silver, if I was you, I would basically say, it's time to take some profits, take 10% out and securitize it. Like put 10% and purchase some green money. Have a guarantee on it. Remember, precious metals is red money. There's no guarantee on the downside of your principal. You're not guaranteed returns on this. If the market continues to rise, you lose money in your precious metals. Also, if you are in Bitcoin, you're pretty much frustrated right now. Do I take my Bitcoin and buy precious metals? Well, we see our average trade range of 2,769 points. So right now we are trading roughly around 79. I'm sorry, the low has been 79. We're at 89 right now. So we're roughly around 89, hovering over 88. It did bounce down as low as 79, 125, and it could hit 79, 125 again. We have a lot of selling pressure, but people are getting frustrated with Bitcoin, right? Remember, Bitcoin is a asset, a red money asset that is very cyclical and is basically correlated with big tech. Now, let's look at, I don't really like talking about woke companies, but one of the market drivers is NVIDIA. Right now, we are at, let's see here, 167 roughly, and it hit as high as 197. So we could see a market drop off on this if big tech comes out with bad earnings. But yeah, this particular company has been responsible for the NASDAQ and the growth. Just massive AI technology here, guys. Right now, volatility index is 14.19. So you'll see this pop back up. And we have a ADX of 24.68, average trade range about 564. Also, want to look at small caps real quick. This is one of my favorite ETFs for small caps. Again, we're seeing selling pressure. This is the Russell 2000 times 3 typically. Not something I would invest long term in. It is a trading style ETF, but if you're looking to make money off the small caps, TNA would be a great answer for you. Also, the banks, the banking cartel. Remember, I told you that there was a sell-off and it's looking good again. Well, here we are. We have a buy signal around Thanksgiving, and we do see a little bit of momentum coming down. Right now, we are at 62.91. It did hit as low as 55.73 earlier this year. But I'm going to be looking out after this as the Fed continues to possibly lower interest rates. So what's interesting here is that the Fed is going to come out in January 27th, around the 28th is the next Fed meeting before the March 17th Fed meeting. I don't think they're going to lower interest rates this January. They could, but the last week of January, we'll have to see. The markets will go crazy. So they're going to allow the markets possibly to do its thing. But come March of 2026, I believe that date is March 17th and the 18th. They should be lower interest rates by then. We don't know if it's going to be quarter basis points or it's going to be 50 basis points, but they have this knack about inflation, trying to get it down to 2.5 when it's around 3.5, 3%, which we all know they're not counting food and petroleum because they take that out of the calculation of the cost of living adjustment. So be very, very cautious, guys. You're going to want to be greedy. I'm telling you, you're going to want to be a part of these markets. And those are some things that get us in trouble. Now, what I want to emphasize is that our green money solutions is a great, great avenue to protect yourself. Right now, if we go to greenmoneysolutions.com, I did update the website. You're going to need some principal protection when there is a market scenario or a bank crisis. I love the QQQs for 2026 because it's going to be AI driven. Now, that doesn't mean that you go out and buy the QQQs. We have a green money solution that is a growth-like index of the QQQs. They basically go in and out of the QQQs and mix it with treasuries, cash, and QQQ. This is going to do very well in 2026 due to the fact that it is not going to be a volatile index. The volatility indices are had a rough past 2 years because they need volatility in order for it to do well, or else they'll just sit on the sidelines in treasuries. So if you're in volatility index and you're a current client, you might be a little fatigued and upset because there's not a lot of growth in the markets on the volatility indice side. So what we want to do is, obviously, let's have a conversation, but we want to be in a more growth-oriented index without the volatility component. Okay, guys, I'm not here to advertise a certain company or anything, but I want to talk about something that I'm bullish on. And a lot of you have come to me and said, "Hey, Carlos, I would like the ability to invest in AI, but I don't want to get hurt. I like the QQQs, but this is going to be a safer way. Of course, the 1 and 2 year are not as probable and favorable as you want. But if we look at a 3 to 5 year time frame, in 3 years, this is done over 11%, and over a 10-year time frame, is done 10.34. Right now, we can get access to this 100% free, no annual fees. What I mean by free is it's not necessarily free. It's basically a participation rate. So we can get 100% of this index that has yielded over 10.34 over a 10-year time frame. That doesn't mean the QQQ NASDAQ, it does 20%. That does not mean you're going to make 20% in this index. So I want to make sure there's a clarity here. This is a QQQ growth like index. So they will basically move from the QQQs, as they see here. They're over 100% invested in it, and they will keep, cash. They'll go from the QQQs to cash on a daily basis. So we love the fact that it can go full blown cash to Invesco's QQQ. And you're going to want to have some exposure to the AI. Now, what I love about this is you see when this goes down, we lose nothing. The only thing we lose is our possible interest. So if this index does bad, it will just move to treasuries and cash. But more so, you get all the upswings from 2020 all the way up to 21. That was a huge return. From 21 to 22, another huge return. From 22 to 23. And at 23, we probably got a zero because the index was down. But from 23 all the way to 24, you made a good 20% there. And from January 24 till now, you made a good like 5%. So nothing massive. Obviously, we had a big drop in April Q1. This should do extremely well for 2026. It's possible this industry could do a good 10, 15%. But while protecting the interest of the index. So like I said, 10.34, the past 3 years has done over 11. Didn't have a good year this year because of the lowering interest rate environments. A lot of money managers stuck to cash and treasuries, like the 2-year treasury, as well as a 10-year treasury. So be sure to have an allocation that you have access to. And if you don't have this, and if you have red money, give us a call, 813-448-3446. We can put you in this index with no fees and no risk to your principal. Your gains are locked in, no problem. Doesn't matter where you're at. We're licensed in all the states, even Tennessee, Missouri, Michigan, pretty much all the states except for North Carolina, believe it or not. This is a great account to have to spread yourself in a favorable way. You could have red money. You can still work with your current advisor. If you say, you know what, Carlos, I only have $500,000 to put into something like this. I want to make sure it grows, but I want the risk with my other current advisor. I'm okay with that too. But most of my clients, they're allowing us to look at the whole portfolio, make sure that their portfolio is running well. And then we're carving out green money to make sure this money's growing with the index and the QQQs. One of my favorite indices for 2026 is going to be this index, as well as just full-blown S&P 500 with no risk and no fees. And we have access to those. Right now, we can get 50% of the S&P 500 IQ index. You just got to give us a call to make sure it's in your state. But this index, if you're trying to grow your asset and double it within the next 4 to 6 years, you have a huge growth opportunity here as we go into this AI-based market right now that has infiltrating the markets. Well, with that being said, go to greenmoneysolutions.com. We changed option number 4 right now. We are offering the same insurance carrier that was offering 29%, brought it down to 27%. Same rules. You can add to it, get a 27% bonus, and make 50% off of a similar index, the Barclays 12 index. Great story there. A-rated, a company that was born here in America that doesn't farm out their monies or employees to other countries. But more importantly, you can get a 27% bonus in most states. Of course, you got to give us a call, make sure it's right for you. I know in California, it's not 27% if you're over 48, and you must have 75 grand and be okay with only having access to 10% a year because they're insurance-based products on the Green Money Solution side. But if you're interested in making 27%, maybe you didn't do anything this year, give us a call or go to greenmoneysolutions.com. You can learn more about it. And then sign up for a 10, 15-minute consultation with myself or one of my advisors, and we'll be more than happy to see if you qualify for it. So this isn't something that the FDIC does not have their hands on, thank God. This is only for people that want to protect their principal and not be subject to, bank bail-ins, market crashes, that have the ability to grow and possibly double your money within 4 to 6 years. If you do have a bonus product, the growth is a little longer. So I would say you can possibly double your money within 5 to 8 years, is what the projection says, depending on how favorable the indices are. So there's a lot of caveats and bells and whistles. Obviously, if the company is giving you 27%, they will start the fee, and that fee is 0.95 annually, but you have access to 10%. Great for someone at 60 that needs a bump, and they know they're going to retire at 65, and they want to use this money as a 5 or 6% free withdrawal as an income and let the account just grow. Great for someone that maybe just got hit with real estate taxes or a big tax bill over 27%, and we can get 27% on a Roth conversion. We can get 27% on your IRA. We can get 27% up front from the bank. And why not use that money to pay your taxes 12 months from now? So if you're interested in that, there's so many strategies we can talk about. You just got to give us a call and let us brainstorm with you, make sure it's a right fit. A lot of current advisors don't think this way because they're subject to their corporate laws and honestly, they're shareholders. You guys know there's no explanation needed there, right? So they have their agenda. That's the beauty about what I do is I'm independent, but I have access to all these financial companies that have your best interests at heart. So give us a call, 813-448-3446. Sorry for the long and gated podcast today. I get inspired by all you folks and what is out there in 2026. Basically, get your house right, get your covenant process working, get your green money working. If you want to make money in AI, contact us. We can put you in a great fund in AI. If you want better wealth management on the yellow money side, managed money side, give us a call, 813-448-3446. Don't forget to like and subscribe our Rumble channel, our YouTube channel. And pretty soon we'll be on Spotify and Apple podcasts as well. God bless you guys. I'm out of here and enjoy your new year. God bless.